record. So now recording, and that is so that we can put it in the membership website later on, where all the webinars are stored after they have been played. And I will be re-recording these webinars as the time goes on. When new content comes along, I will be adding things. Today with the software and gadgets webinar, I've decided not to add that many things so that we can, because usually there's a lot of questions about software. So I want to take it slow so that everybody can keep up. And yeah, so I've got a lot of things to show you, but I've tried to make it simple at the same time. So what we're going to cover here today is how to not get trapped in the software trap. Software, gadgets, and how to fit your office in a shoulder bag. So, well, a lot of people I coach get stuck in the software trap. So basically, they won't launch a product or a service because the website's not finished, the system's not working, etc., etc. And actually, with Mr. Outsource, we also got stuck in the software trap. It was partly because we were busy in other parts of the business, so it wasn't really the time. So we built up software, but it was also we were sort of enjoying building the product rather than going out and selling. So when it comes to software, what the important part to understand is that try to make it as simple as possible. So for instance, we use Excel for most of our business processes. We don't have a fancy software that sort of does everything magically. We actually do most of our business processes in Excel, which I'm going to show you later on. But there is really good software that I use and have used successfully for a while. And it's those softwares that I want to share with you today. And oftentimes it's better to just go out there and sell and get in front of people than it is that you need to sort of build the software or figure out the technical stuff. Like, people like hiding behind websites and software projects and things like that instead of actually going to if you have a clear understanding of who your target market is and who you should be doing joint ventures and affiliate marketing with, then just go there and just sell them, and then find the software later or build the website later, because then you have a proven model. The story of Bill Gates is actually that he sold Unix before he'd actually created it. So he went and he sold the software before he'd actually created it, and then he managed to sell it, and then he built the software. And I find this is often the case, that entrepreneurs do it the opposite way around. You know, they sit in their room and they tinker about how they're going to change the world with their software, and then they actually don't go out and just speak to their target audience. So don't get stuck in the software trap. And it's actually one thing is that you don't go out and actually do it. Go out and meet people. Go out and talk to people. Get out and get your hands dirty first. And then the second one is trying to use software that is overly complicated. So, for instance, for the first 3 years of the photography business, we used a very complicated accounting software, and we try to get all the CRM and all this customer relationship management. We try to use it for everything, and it just became a big mess. And it would have saved us a lot of time if we just had everything in Excel. So, you know, we spent hours and hours and hours inputting all these names, and should have just been done in Excel. And one day the accounting company decided that, oh yeah, we're just going to swap providers, and then we lost all the data because of their export, and then they closed the account, etc., etc. So there is software trap. It is kind of, software is really cool, but try to keep it simple, stupid. Don't try to. Oftentimes, what I find is it's better to outsource the tasks and just get them in Excel than trying to find the super software to solve all your problems. I hope that makes sense. Screen small. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I'm just sort of flipping out in and out here. So that's the software trap. Go out and do it. keep it simple, and of course use software if it works. But sometimes we get stuck in, and then we just keep on getting lost in the software. So, but this software is great. So a couple of things that we're going to talk about today is Google Business Apps, Dropbox, Evernote, and Skype. Those are only a couple of software that I'm showing you here today. Google Business Apps is actually 3 businesses that I own and run. They are actually hosted with Google Business Apps, and they're just a very simple foundation. The ones I use are actually free, but Google changed their business model, so they're actually now charging money for per account. So if you registered before a certain date, you got it for free, but now you have to pay. So, but it's not a big fee, and it's definitely worth it. So you have everything in the cloud. So when I say the cloud, it basically means that everything's hosted on a server somewhere in the world, and all I need is a laptop to access all my files. So I spoke to Mark Anastasi a couple of, this is actually maybe 6 months ago, and I was emailing him, and I didn't get a reply, and it was because he dropped his laptop and actually lost all his data. And if he'd had it in Google Business Apps, he would have kept all his data. I mean, he didn't lose all his data, but he lost his files on his computer. And that's actually one of the things I think about is what if somebody, what happens if somebody steals your computer or it breaks? Because I store every single file that I have is in my Dropbox on my computer. So if we go here and go to Dropbox, and here's all the here I have all my files, and they're automatically syncing. So if I drag and drop a file into Usebin, it's actually automatically synced, and I can also share folders directly from here. So so I actually keep all my files on Google Docs. You can use Google Business Apps. They have something called Drive, but I'm gonna explain that to you. So let's look at Mr. Outsource and how that is managed. So here I'm inside the Google Business Apps console for. Okay, just connecting here. Okay, looks like I have to log in. So there, just logging in there. So when you log into Google Business Apps, you get a control panel, and they've actually relaunched this. It looks a little bit different, but if we can click users, and here you see a bunch of users. You can see how much email they've used. You can see, for instance, how much space they're using, and etc. So this is actually 360 and not Mr. Outsource. But it doesn't matter because it's sort of the same. You can have a company profile, which is not super important, but you can actually, there's a lot of things you can do here. For instance, we haven't uploaded the company logo because we basically use Google Drive and email. So again, it's about not getting carried away and trying to do everything. But you can actually host your websites here. Again, what do you want to do? What is the objective? Don't get lost in the software. And you can have your contacts, your calendar. So basically what we use is we use the Gmail, we use Google Drive, and we use Calendar, because it's just an easy way of organizing all those things. Let's look at what the price is. If we look at billing, this is actually a free version of Google Business Apps. So nothing's coming up here. Filipino internet is a bit slow today. They're actually having trouble at the hotel and have been having trouble at the hotel since I arrived. That does not reflect outsourcing to the Philippines. I just want to say that. Yeah, so I have to upgrade. So basically you get 10 licenses for free. That's what you used to do. Okay, so that's just a quick inside look on the management console. So basically, the management console is like you as the admin gets that. Not all your employees don't have access to that. Most of your employees only have access to this, which is if you have a Google account, you're familiar with this. But basically, here you have Mail, Drive, Calendar, Sites, and more. So you get a standard Google account, but it's more powerful because it's a business account. And here you see, first email. That's the first email you got, and it says, the basic info that we send out after a webinar or after a presentation on stage. There's a methodology that we use that to follow up our clients. So, for instance, here's a system that I've just uploaded and shared. Let's look at that. To-do list after webinar, seminar, or bootcamp sales. Yeah. So this is also system building, right? So email, welcome email with all info needed. And then step number 2, phone up all new clients, create coaching client file, and make sure green feed. Yeah. So green feed is when you send out you can actually schedule emails to be sent out at certain times, and you can have like 30 emails sent out. So we can plan the emails for basically 6 months in advance. So when somebody subscribes to your membership website, they automatically get green fed the content. Add people to membership websites, send second email about what next webinar. Yeah, so it's basically a to-do list that Michelle at Mr. Outsource has access to, is responsible for. This is a blank client file, but basically all of you have one of these, and this is where we fill in the information. And this is in Google Drive, so this is live, and everybody from my team and everybody I've shared this with are able to access it, and also we can edit it at the same time. And the way you share it is by just going to the top here and clicking share, and then you can share it with, Michelle can get it, or Regina, etc. So this is again using Excel to just have a client file. We can make it a lot more complicated. Basically, when somebody has a session, I put in one, I put in the date, etc., and the time, and then comments, homework, Skype. So sometimes it's about 2 weeks, but 2 or 3 weeks between each coaching session, and then it's good to have just a file to check what's been going on and what's happening. So this is just using Excel to manage client files. In the image editing company, we use it for managing all the client jobs. And every Monday I get an email with an overview of how many images we've edited for what clients, and it just keeps me on top of things. And of course, that's doing Excel spreadsheets and creating lists, and list building is something that's very outsourceable. For instance, if you want to find all the dentist clinics in Chelsea, London, that's something your outsourcer can find for you and add all the information to a Excel spreadsheet. So Excel is brilliant. If you can put it in an Excel spreadsheet and share it online with with your outsourcer, your VA, it's a brilliant way to manage your business. And when you have an Excel spreadsheet with like names and emails, you can just upload it into an emailing program like MailChimp, and then you can send out emails, and you can then track. I don't actually have MailChimp in this software presentation today. But MailChimp is what we use, and you can use there's many. We use MailChimp, and we're happy with it. So Google Analytics is a software which is very simple to set up. And when you have a Google business account, using Google Business Apps, you sync your business account with Google Analytics, and you get access to really good data. and what you measure gets managed. So here you can really see, like, you can measure how well the response was on different ads, etc. So Google's great. Google also gives you a overview of your account every single month. So this is my account. So you see 851 emails sent to 246 contacts, received 1,287 emails, and it actually tracks everything. And if you have an Android phone, you you can actually see where you were as well. So you can see I visited the Hockford Close in Woking. I was in Century in Woking. I was in different places, and it's just an automated way of measuring what you do, and you get this with your Google account. Um, one thing that a lot of people ask me about is how to manage passwords, and what I have is a hierarchy of passwords. And some passwords everybody has in the company. So, for instance, to access certain emails, for instance, the files that clients send jobs to us through, everybody has access to that email. Some passwords are only for management, and some passwords are only for 1 to 2 people, like CEOs, and some passwords only I have. So try to come up with some kind of algorithm. Basically, you just add letters on the front and back of your password, and that makes them unique. And it's a simple algorithm to manage your passwords. There is an easier way. If you write this down, this is a brilliant piece of software called Lostpaws. We could do one webinar just on LastPass, but this is actually a software that allows you to share passwords in a safe way. It also memorizes all your passwords in your browser better than your browser does, and you can share credit card information. You can do lots of things with LastPass. So I can't really go into it that far today. But it is something you need to check out to manage your passwords. And also, we're starting with the end here. So when you start working with your VA, or if you're working with it already, then LastPass is a way to share your password securely. The next piece of software is a company called LogMeIn. And what LogMeIn does is it gives other people access to your desktop. And for instance, one of our clients is a video edit. He produces videos for events and similar things, and we set him up with an outsourcer, and his outsourcer accesses his computer from the Philippines through the internet, and then manages his mouse and everything like that. So he can do the editing. The reason why we set it up like that was because video files are typically many gigabytes, and especially when you convert a video from a working file to a finished file, it becomes even bigger often. And sending gigabytes and gigabytes from the Philippines to him was just too laborious and took too long. So we set him up with LogMeIn, and you can restrict it. So you can say, oh, this person can only use this program, or this person can only use this part of the computer at this time. And everything's logged, and everything's great. There's a cool iPhone app as well, Android app, that you can just you can basically control your computer from anywhere in the world just through your iPhone. So LogMeIn is a company that's been around for a long time. I believe the company's around 10, 12 years now. So they're not going anywhere. They're stable. They have revenue, and it's a solid company. So LogMeIn is a cool way. If you have very heavy files, that is a cool way to get other people to edit them. So Evernote is a brilliant piece of software. I think we should just demo it for you. But before that, it's important to mention that Evernote works on all devices, so everything that you upload to your account is synced to your phone and your iPad and the web as well. So you have an account in the cloud, so to speak, and you also have one on your desktop. So let's see what we have here. It's just loading here. So that's my diary. Okay. Let's see. For instance, PayPal. So we have a PayPal account, and here are some of the transactions from that. And here is also stored, a how-to. So for instance, maybe you're noticing how many how-tos files I have, and they're pretty simple. It's like step 1, step 2, step 3. And here is basically how to do the PayPal invoicing, and it's all here, August, June, July, etc. So September and October are also here, I believe. So yeah, I do a lot of things in my Evernote account. At the bootcamp, I showed you the way I send tasks to, like for instance, write about Zendesk. And here's a notification, so you can see Regina made the most recent update to. Okay, so basically, there I see the recent activity, and somebody's done something to the credit card. This is basically accounting, right? So here's a bunch of accounting, and you just press sync, and then it syncs to everybody you've shared your folder with. So here I can choose. Let's see. Make new note, and it should say PayPal. Why it doesn't do that? Okay, but it's a pretty simple piece of software, and you just need to start somewhere and start. I actually don't own the PayPal one. I only have viewability of it. That's why I couldn't add anything. But you just add a note and write test for webinar, and then you write something, and then you press sync, and then it's syncing. Yeah, you see it down here. It's syncing. And there's a lot of cool software you can use. Skitch is one. We click Skitch. This is all here are all the changes. This is a piece of software that I use for working with our web people. And once I make a change here you see some stuff from the book when we were working on the book. There were changes to the graphs, etc. So I'm going to show you Evernote later, but I think the important thing to know about Evernote is that they have a lot of really good tools that you can use, that are sort of add-ons. And Evernote is also a very stable company, so they're not going anywhere. They've been in business for a long time, and they just produce really excellent things. So we can look at the their main products is, they have Evernote, which is the one I showed you. They have Skitch, which I'm also going to show you later on. Pen Ultimate is, for instance, if you're in a meeting and you don't have a pen and paper, you just take out your iPad and you can sketch on your iPad, and that is synced automatically to Evernote. The web clipper is here. You just click it, and then you can add notes, etc. And you just click save, and then it's saved to Evernote directly. So for instance, I believe the last thing I saved in here was, I was looking at an apartment here in Davao City, and I just wanted to remember that, so I just clipped it into Evernote. So next time I search Davao condominium, let's do that right now. Actually, Davao condo, yeah, Davao condominium. Then it comes up in the search. So what Evernote has done is just make it really simple to store your brain online. So I strongly suggest that you check it out. Clearly is a right now it looks like I'm using Skitch on the website. So, but anyway, Evernote clearly is a software that takes away all the distractions from your website, from a website you're reading, and then gives it to you in a better way. So that is Evernote. It's just a great way to work, and also if you're outsourcing, it's a key tool. So another thing to use is software that allows you to draw on the screen. So for Mac and Evernote users, it's Skitch. You can also use awesomescreenshot.com if you are on a PC. That is also a simple to use software, but I'm not sure. It doesn't sync with Evernote. But it's also easy to use, and use it in your browser. So I just want to create a simple demo of how to use Skitch. So for instance, I was looking at this. Okay, so they updated everything. So let's get started. So this seems to be their new the new look, and you just press screen snap, and then I always include the uh, the URL at the top here. The URL is basically here, so I always include that so that the web designer can see what page I'm on. Here you choose color. I'm going to choose pink, and basically I don't like how this website looks. It, the picture of me is fine, but it's too big and it takes too long to get the text, and I really don't like how it's made. So what I would do is I would do this. You can just draw a box like that, and you draw another box, and then I would say, move this there and move this there, and then move text up. And then usually I add some text. So I'll add move image inside frame, and then I will copy paste, and here I write move image inside frame. That's fine. And then move text up. And what you can do here is you can choose what kind of format to send it. I always use JPEG. But the cool thing is you can actually just drag and drop it into your email, for instance. So if I had my email open, I could just drag that into my email, and it would attach. And this will also sync with Evernote now. You see it's syncing up there. If you're losing my voice, then it's probably because it's syncing. And it also saves all the history of what you've done. So then you can also go back and edit it. So here's a video with a book release. So you need to add a link here, right? So there's like small stuff like that. I'm going to close that down so we don't lose sound quality. I'm just canceling that now. One thing I've noticed with Skitch that it's a bit slow to shut down. That is the only thing I I can complain about with it. The next is a Soapin live chat, and this is a free live chat. Again, I want to demonstrate that because I believe demonstrating it is a better way to showcase things than to just simply talk about them on a flat screen. So I hope you're able to see everything here. This chat seems to be offline, which is not good. It's meant to be online, and basically it's a way to chat directly with our outsourcing company, the image editing company. And here it seems you can leave a message. But the important thing to know here is that it's free for one user, and we actually have only one user and use it on multiple websites. So SoapM, I can't remember if it's .com or .net, but it's SoapM, and it's a free trial, and it's easy to embed into Magento and many other software. So For instance, if you have a website and an e-commerce store, then SoapM you can implement easily, and then you can have your Filipino outsourcer answer questions for you. And the software is we used to have another software, but it was quite buggy. So now we use SoapM, and we're happy with it. This is a software you've all used on the coaching calls with me, and what I want to mention is there's a feature that not so many people use, but when you start outsourcing, it is important to use it. Share screens. So the way we could have done this webinar is I could have made a Skype chat, and then I could have shared my screen, and I could have just talked to you through the webinar that way. So when I work with my team in the Philippines, I actually just share my screen on Skype, and we do a lot of work like that. And it's always fun when I go down here and notice that we pretty much sit and chat with each other. We do face-to-face stuff and we do team building stuff, but when we work in the office, we're in different rooms, and we're still on Skype sharing and chatting, and so working outsourcing is not really that different than having people in your office. And another benefit that I noticed while I was here is that it's I actually get more done when I'm not here, because it's like the CEO of the famous company in the 4-hour work week who starts working 4 days away from the office, and he notices that his productivity triples because he's not in the office and people can't ask him questions. The whole point of me being here these 2 weeks was to work with the team and to spend time with the team. So I don't want to take anything away from that, but it was interesting to notice how much less I get done in the office. So that's one of the key parts of outsourcing is people are away from you, so you have time to focus and get things done like that. Shopify is a brilliant e-commerce solution. It is how we do the Uspin store with the drop shipping. Is actually a Shopify store. You see it here in the link, My Shopify. I believe you can cloak it. Cloak it means that you can just have Uspin store, for instance. But this is our website for selling 360 photography equipment, and it's pretty basic, but it works. And we don't focus on developing it very much because Shopify is a brilliant company, and they keep things simple. And there's lots of apps that you can add to your Shopify store as well. So if you're wondering what the company that the photography company does, we actually produce 360 photography like this, so that you can showcase products in 360, and that increases sales and decreases returns. So I just want to add that in there. Just if you're wondering what the other company does, Shopify is brilliant. So many people, they go off and they use a developer and they spend lots of money on them, and then they actually just go back and start using Shopify. And the reason why I suggest using Shopify is because if you're not wanting to be an expert in e-commerce development, you should just go with a software that's finished, so you can focus on sales and marketing, or just finding great products to sell. So check out Shopify. It's about we pay $30 a month. And yeah, it's brilliant. Zendesk is a Danish company. They were acquired recently, and the way that works is that you can. It's also easy to embed into your website, but basically it's a customer relationship management software. And when people send in a complaint or whatever, it's tracked, and you can also track who replies to the complaint. Okay, so it's just a way of managing. So for instance, I would say if you're starting out, this isn't so relevant, but if you have many employees, then this is a way to manage your customer service. And it's also a well-built platform, and they've been around for many years. So Zendesk is for customer service, basically. one of the things we did at the boot camp was we made a simple video of Tracy, and the way we edit all the movies is actually just through iMovie. We have I have a Mac, and my VA also has a Mac, so she edits my bucket list videos, and it's just a really simple tool. I mean, anybody on this call can use it. It is brilliant. I'm not sure if they have it for PC. I'm also not quite sure what program to use for PC for video editing. Um, but I'm sure there's a really simple video editing software out there. And the way to find out is to go to, for instance, cnet.com. That's cnet.com, and then you can put in a movie editing program, and then you can check the ratings and also see how many ratings they have. So the more ratings, the more credible the software will be. GoToWebinar is what we're using right now. If you are going to do a information marketing product, then GoToWebinar is a great tool to use. There are you get a 1 month free trial, and it's pretty basic. You only do the thing that I did on my first webinar once, where you forget to share your screen, and yeah, I lost a lot of sales, but at least I learned that lesson. So GoToWebinar, brilliant way of holding meetings, and even if you want to present something to a client on the other side of the world, you can use GoToWebinar, or just use Skype. Harvest is a way to track your outsourcers' hours. So basically, it's an easy way for them to invoice you. So if they're paying per hour, then you can have them create a free account with Harvest, and then just tell them to input the tasks that they do, and then once a month they'll send that to you, and you pay them based on that. So it's a way to do it. We experimented with this in our company over here, and we actually found out that we were going to just use Excel. We're actually just going to have people handwrite it, and then we scan them in and put them in Drive, and then yeah. So that's actually the way we've decided to do it. Is just to do it by hand in Excel instead of using Harvest. But if you want to try Harvest, then you can do it. It's actually about $100 per for 10 users as well. So that's one of the reasons why we didn't choose it, because sometimes it's actually cheaper to just outsource the job to the Philippines than it is to buy software. Time Tracker Pro is the software that tracks how much time you spend on your computer, and also how much time you spend on different software and programs. And it's actually running here on my computer right now. So we can view report. Let's see, that's today. We could go month. And 251 hours and 31 minutes I've spent the last month. And Google Chrome, I spend a lot of time on the internet, obviously. 33 hours on Keynote, 25 hours, etc. Okay, so it gives you data. So Time Tracker is something that just runs in the background and keeps on measuring what you do. There are many smartphone apps. I'm going to show you a few that I find useful, and that I've also actually told my parents to download, and they use them. So Yucknot is a very simple way of scanning a piece of paper and sending it to anybody. So in the beginning, I actually used Yucknot to send all my travel bills. Later on, I decided that I was always at a restaurant, and then you're ending a meeting or a conversation, and you're taking out your phone and you're photographing it, and then you don't have internet, and maybe you forget to send it. So the way I actually do it is I just have a travel scanner, and I wait until I have a good bunch of invoices, receipts, and then I feed them into the travel scanner, and that uploads directly to Evernote, and then my VA gets a notification in Evernote, like I showed you. I showed you where the notification part was. She gets a notification when I upload something, and she then starts logging it. But Yucknot I still use Yucknot sometimes. If I'm on the go and I just want to send somebody a contract or it basically works like a scanner. Easy to use, and I believe it's only $99. So why not just have it on your phone? Expensify is a way of tracking all expenses. Again, I've actually chosen to outsource this because I don't want to be fiddling with my phone all the time. So I just outsource it to the Philippines, and they do it by hand, and I find that more accurate than this. But I have a lot of friends that use Expensify, and they're very happy with it. So check out Expensify. It's a way to log all your expenses on the go. Hours tracker, for instance, if you're a consultant of some sort, you charge per hour, or maybe if you are driving from one appointment to the other and your client is paying you for the time you spend driving, then you can use an app called Hours Tracker. And very simple to use. You just set up the different clients and the fees, then you press start and stop, and then you can actually export it into Excel and then send them that as an invoice. So Hours Tracker is pretty cool tool. One productivity tip that I'd like to give you is, as an entrepreneur, you're probably always getting ideas and thinking of new things to do. And it can be quite annoying because you'll get good ideas oftentimes when you're not in the office, and then you worry about forgetting them. So what I do is I use an app called Carrot, who actually that actually makes fun of me as well. So it says, "Greetings, lazy human. Carrot, I'm your new taskmaster." Right? So it's jokey, which I like. It puts a bit of humor into business, which is always good. So basically, when I get an idea, I just make a note of it, and then when I'm back in the office, I can sit down and I can go through things, and then I cross them off as they get done. And the reason why I note it down straight away is because I want to empty my head. And if I don't empty my head by writing it down, it'll keep on being there, and I'll keep on thinking about it. So I use this app a lot, and I wish iPhone had a way of tracking how much I use the different apps, but I use this app a lot because I get ideas when I'm at the gym, out walking, and I just write it down, and I know it's there, and I can forget about it. Just a quick productivity tip for you there. But it's called Carrot. I believe it's only for iPhone, but there's lots of to-do lists for Androids and Blackberries and all that. So just write, if you get an idea and you're out doing something, just write it down so you can clear your head. And the last point here is actually your office in a bag. I have one of these shoulder bags, and I've traveled with it all over the world, and I actually have my whole office in it, and I bring it on the plane, and as long as I have that, it doesn't matter if I lose or everything else, because I know my business will still be running, and it's all good. So just wanted to share with you a couple of things that are in that bag, which I use to run my businesses. Let's just start on the left here with the iPad. I'm actually going to take this down to small screen so I can point and make it a little bit bigger for you there. Okay, so the iPad, just something I always bring. If you want to read books, Kindle, etc. A mini flash drive. So I basically, I do take backups of my Dropbox also, and oftentimes if you're making videos, for instance, you need a little bit of extra space. And the reason why I've bought a flash drive and not a hard drive is because a flash drive can be damaged, and you can actually recover all your things even though it gets damaged. So a flash drive is much stronger than a normal hard drive. I use an extra battery pack. Oftentimes you're out doing something and you run out of battery, very annoying, and then I can just grab that, connect it to my phone, and hey presto, I can make more phone calls or whatever. Business cards, just plain simple paper. Jam box for to have a party in your hotel room. When you travel a lot, you sort of need to bring with you some music to make it feel more homely. I have the Bose noise cancelling headphones. Just find them amazing to put on if there's a lot of noise somewhere and you need to sleep or you need to relax. Then you just put them on, and everything cancels out. So let's just answer a question here. Aren't we paying outsourcers per month, fortnight? Why won't we? Okay. Well, there's many ways of paying your outsourcer. That's basically down to you. You can start off by paying per hour. You know, if you just want to try them out for a while, you can pay per hour. So it's really down to what you decide to do. It's your employees, so you decide how you want to compensate them. But per hour, once a month, or every 14 days. You can also ask them what they prefer. So so you know. Um, I have a thin laptop just because it's a hassle with a big one. So I buy the thinnest one that I can get, which is MacBook Air. I use a ScanSnap to scan business cards after a seminar, or scan travel bills, or sometimes you get contracts and you just email your hotel, you get them printed out, and then you sign them, scan them, upload them into Evernote, and then you send it. You can also send files through Evernote, by the way. You can also email directly through Evernote. That's I didn't mention that, but that's also a tool that I use. Um, I have some simple camera equipment. I have a mini tripod. I have a simple microphone, and also use the Kodak Play Touch to record videos. So, for instance, when I'm making the bucket list videos, I use Kodak Play Touch, and I actually used one on a zip line the other day. Here in Davao, they have a really long zip line, and I've always wanted to do a zip line, so I filmed that. And the camera is only about $80, $50 to $80. So if I lost it, then that would have been a shame. But it's not so expensive that you what do you say? Go broke by damaging it. Taking payments on the go. So, for instance, if you have a seminar business, you could downsell on books. So you can have a bunch of books that you recommend, and you basically sell them there. More and more people only have card, so you can take card payments through your iPhone. iSettle, and and then ZETTLE. And then, of course, your online banking. You need to be able to do your some of your accounts when you're traveling. So make sure your business account has a online banking system that you can access anywhere in the world. So that's how so all these things actually fit in my bag, and that's how I manage everything. I don't have a travel printer because I find that most things can now be done digitally. And if I have to print something out, the hotel always offers a service for that. So it's printers are usually a hassle in my experience. I used to have a travel printer, but you need to bring the paper, and the cartridges are really expensive. So I just found out that it's cheaper just to get the hotel to print it. So a lot of gadgets for health as well. I use Nike Fuel and Jawbone Up to measure my sleep and my activity. And again, I measure it because then I get feedback, and I just wanted to share this because once you start measuring things, it becomes more fun, and maybe you want to do it for health as well. And I want to mention this app because P90X is a information marketing company, and they've done really, really well by launching software like this. And it's basically a system for exercising, and it's just really, really simple. They've made videos, and I thought it was a great example. You know, let's say you're making a martial art program. Try to package it into an iPhone, because then you have to simplify everything. When you make apps for iPhone, you have to take away all the unnecessary stuff, and you have to only do what's simple, and that actually creates a better product. So take a look at P90X. It's free to download and test. It's what I do 3 or 4 times a week. I use P90X, and I don't use anything else. So today we talked about how to not get trapped in the software trap, and it is really about getting out there and meeting people, and stop hiding behind software, because software is great for what you can use it for, but a lot of entrepreneurs don't get going because they keep on developing the software, and they don't ever go out and sell it. A friend of mine, he's been developing his software for 2.5, 3 years now. He spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, but he could in fact have done it just through Facebook to test it out before he spent all that money. So it is really about going out. First, you go out and you get it in the hands of people, and then you go and find a software solution to it. It's not find a software solution, then bring it to people. I showed you some really simple software today. I could have mentioned a lot more. I could have mentioned Jammer. I could have mentioned MailChimp. I could have mentioned file screen capture, ScreenFlow. But I wanted to show you Google Business Apps today and just get into your head that using Excel can actually be more powerful than most of the software that is out there. Some gadgets and how to fit your office in a shoulder bag. The next webinar is going to be about key habits. These are some habits that I've learned and incorporated into my life after 7 years as an entrepreneur. In fact, after this webinar, I'm going to do 1 hour of Reiki because I know tomorrow is a very exhausting day. So I try to charge myself before an exhausting day instead of saying doing the day and then recharging. Because I find if I'm recharged before the day, then I can add more value to the people I'm interacting with tomorrow. So let's do some questions if you have any questions. So just put them into the chat box here. We can also use the chat window, so it can be more interactive. I can also allow you to. I'm gonna turn on your microphones now. So just be aware of that. You now can speak. So any questions about anything?